Hi guys, it's Dr. Muhammad Usman and I am back with another training session on the topic of Train the Trainer Mentor Program series. First of all, I will be starting this session from the basics of the Train the Trainer program, and our first topic will be using the PowerPoint for generating training videos and training sessions that are good for the audience, and you should be knowing that how you can generate this training session for the audience. So first of all, we need to know that how we can use the PowerPoint. So are you familiar with the Microsoft PowerPoint? If not, you should go to the PowerPoint, open it, and you should focus on different functionality of the PowerPoint. Then have you created presentations in the PowerPoint? Another question that you should be asking yourself before any training session, that have you given lectures using the PowerPoint training session? So you should be aware of the PowerPoint before giving any training to any person, and if you are not aware of it, then you will have to go on the manual session that we will see in the next slides. So basically, if we talk about the PowerPoint, you know that it is a kind of slideshow, and we have a number of slides in our presentation. These slides can be moved from front and back, and with any animation and with the objects that can move above them. So as a trainer, you should know how you can use the PowerPoint to tell your audience about different topics. So first of all, if you open the PowerPoint presentation, if you haven't done so, then you should go to the PowerPoint, open it, and you will be looking toward a power window which you will be asking you open a new PowerPoint presentation or an old PowerPoint presentation. If you want to build up a new PowerPoint presentation, then you should open and select the new option. When you will open that window, you will be getting a home screen with different options over there. There will be a new slide option, layout option, reset option, section option, and shapes, arrange, and many other things. Other than that, you will be knowing about insert, design, transitions, animation, slideshow, review, view, and other add-ins provided by the PowerPoint. So you will be having a number of functionality that can be used by you for giving the presentation or training the different individuals on a certain topic. So as a trainer, you should first make yourself familiar with the PowerPoint so that you make up good presentation and be familiar with it and with the content that should be available all the time with you during the training session. So if we talk about the PowerPoint, it is developed by the Microsoft, and Microsoft is developed it for general users which can use it for PowerPoint presentation. Usually we use in the our classroom sessions. Usually students use them to give their presentation. So basically, since the your start of a degree or a start of a course, you will be using the PowerPoint. So Microsoft PowerPoint is also used for giving lectures and presentation. Most of the teachers worldwide use the Microsoft PowerPoint for giving lectures and presentation, and it can be a group of slides or 2 or 3 slides, or it can range from a series of lectures from one to another. For using the PowerPoint, you should have a laptop, projector, and a screen. Most of the time in classroom session, we have a laptop used by the trainer, and we have a projector given and already a screen over there. The screen can be a folding screen and it can be a hard coated board which shows you the presentation. So it depends on the location of your presentation or your training that which methodology you will use. Other than that, you can have printed slides and notes and handouts that can be printed using the PowerPoint. So if you make your all the presentation in the PowerPoint and write your notes in the below column of the PowerPoint, then it will be easy for you to convey to the audience, and also it will be easy for you to make up the notes for the audience. So you can use PowerPoint for all of these things, and other than that, you can further extend it for making up the animation. So PowerPoint is a very general software which can be used by anyone, and it is easy to learn. So as a trainer, you should be familiar with all the technology of the PowerPoint and all the options that you can use to make up a good presentation for the audience. So how you will prepare a presentation in PowerPoint? So if you have got known the PowerPoint, so as a trainer, you should be knowing that the PowerPoint needs a projector or a paper, and with the PowerPoint presentation, you should also provide the leader's guide or the manual to the individuals, and you should also work on adopting the slides or translating the slides if the language is not the native language of the audience which is taking your presentation. So you can add up different translations, you can add up different slides, and you can add up the content from your manual in the presentation. So most of the time when presentations are made, what you do, you have to make the content from the manual and you copy paste it into the PowerPoint, and you embed it and edit it for your individual training sessions. So basically, before giving any training session, you should be familiar with that content and with that training manual. And the most important part is that you should rehearse several times. If you have grip over the course, over the training matter, then you will be able to convey to the audience. So if you want to give a good presentation as a trainer, and if it is your start, then you should rehearse several times your concept, like you used to do in your bachelor's degree or in the starting time when you are going to give your first presentation. So it will be difficult for the first time, but it will not be impossible for you if you rehearse it, and you should do it every time before giving your presentation or lecture to anyone. So it is not necessary if you are expert of your PowerPoint and you will give your presentation every time very good. So there are some tips that should be used for effectively presenting in PowerPoint. First of all, you should be calling the participant names, the individual's name. You should be knowing that which persons are over there. You should be knowing, tell me what I am doing bad in the next slide. You should ask the audience different question about how I am conveying to you, and after that you can do it before the presentation or after the presentation. You can give the feedback or you can take the feedback from the participant. Then you should face the participant. You should never act as a shy. You should match your eye level with the audience. You should keep your eye level to the audience eye level, so it will be good. And be aware of your timing, stay on schedule. You should be knowing that how much you should spend on one slide explaining it, and then you move up to the next slide, because time management is very important when you are giving your presentation. You can also use auto timer in your slides, but I will not recommend it to you, because most of the time what happens that you have to explain much more to the audience and you have to make the audience understand that concept. And use the power of your voice. Like if I will speak like this, use the power of your voice. Hi, I will use the power of voice. So you should be confident and you should say that use the power of your voice. I will be saying that use it, and this is a concept, this is a PowerPoint, and this is the tip for effectively presenting in PowerPoint, and this and that. And during that session you can also ask questions with the audiences. Also, you should use the non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is by your hands, by your eyes, by moving on the stage. So as a new trainer or an old trainer, you should use effectively the space available to you. You should also use the examples as much as can. So you can use it by handwritten. If you have a board in your in your training session, then you can use the board. You can use the charts. You can use different examples or case studies during your PowerPoint presentation. So it means that during a normal training session, other than the online training session, you have to convey your audience as much as you can. You have to be in touch with your audience as much as you can. You have to face your audience, you have to talk with your audience, and you have to group with them. You have to be like familiar with them so that nothing bad happens and all the things go in flow. Other than that, you should avoid simply reading the slide. You should not read like this, establish continuous eye contact. You should be telling the audience about the concept of the eye contact. Like I will tell the audience, if I am over here, like eye contact is very good for the presentations. If you will do eye contact with the individuals, then the individuals will be focusing on you, and the individual will be understanding, and you can understand what they are asking you, and you can understand what they are understanding from your words. So basically you should explain each of the terms and each of the sentence. Also, you should not pinpoint directly everything, every pictures, every graphics or figures. You should explain them on the board or on the chart the available to you. Like in online presentation, and it is just like I am telling you something, but in the actual classroom session you will have a board, you will have different items, and you can effectively use that space. So effectively use your time and use that space. Be aware of the participants. Know that what they are doing. Are they focusing on you on the concept? Are they understanding that concept? By this you can know that what you are conveying and what they are understanding. Also, you should encourage participation of different by questions, comments, example, feedback. So the concept is that you should make your audience as much as involved in your presentation, and you should focus on all the other things. So when you will be in front of the audience and professional, it will be a different concept and it will be a different environment. So I will always suggest that be prepared for anything bad or good during a live training session. So how you should use the slide? So basically the important points are like I am moving from one slide to another slide. So you are effectively using the slide and different concepts are over there. If you have seen below, from the start I have gone upon the introduction, and then I have defined the PowerPoint, then the basics of the PowerPoint, then I have talked about different using the PowerPoint for presentation, then I have talked about the tips. So I am going straight from point to point. You should not move away from the concept and move away from the title of your presentation, and you should make it easy. Like you should use words that are understandable by your audience. The words should be easy. You should connect with the participant, that I will say always, and to make that learning fun, active, and you should always do it by talking with your audience all the time, and you should do it by interacting with your audience. So as a newly trainer, it will be most of the time difficult for you, but when you will move up to the into the training field, then you will gain experience and confidence, and it will be like on the tips of your hand. So it will not be difficult for you for only, but when you will have a new training session or new topic, that is always a difficult thing. When you will move up to the next time, it will be good for you and it will be easy for you. So what is in the slides? Like I told you, if I talk about the PowerPoint presentation, the structure of the presentation should be introductory slide, the pre-assessment if any available of the candidate, the training goals, the objectives of the presentation, the objective of the topic, the workshop objectives or goals, or anything you would like to make your audience comfortable that what we are going to do and what is the plan for today. So you can divide the different presentations in day 1, day 2 according to these one, and you should always use examples, pictures, graphics and figure. If your slides are basically very simple, then your audience will be bored. Other than that, you should include case studies, learning activities, question, comments, post assessment, and thank you for your time over here. That should be a last comment or a last presentation or a last slide in your topic. So basically, when you are using the slides, you should involve yourself verbally and non-verbally when you are conveying the presentation. But it is not necessary that most of the time you should have a projector or a slide. You should also make yourself familiar with the manual way to give presentation. It is not necessary that some of time electricity will go off, some of time the projector stop working. So you should not stop your presentation and go on to your presentation and complete your concept. It is not necessary that you stop. And at the end, always take feedback from your audience, and I always tell my audience, like I will say like that, please visit, like and subscribe to my channel for updates, and visit my website. And other than that, this video was up to here, and we will move up to the next concept in later video. If you want any concept to be taught in Urdu and English, you can place a question, comments or email to me. Thank you, and do give feedback. If you want any training certificate for it, you can visit to these steps, and there is another video available defining all these steps. So what you are waiting for? Do visit my channel and like and subscribe to my video. Thank you.